coming in at 6 foot, softly spoken but always heard. Mr. Smile that'll drive your girl wild. He's always keeps us in check with the newest and latest tech. Mr. Just Tim.
Yo.
How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Top of my game right now. I'm ready to get into it.
All right. Got you too, man. Coming up next. Oh, shit. All right, guys. This man needs no introduction. None at all. He got so many shoes, we call him Mr. Foot Locker. He travels so much, we call him Country Hopper. He's a walking encyclopedia. With him, we need no media. Mr. Money Mark. How you feeling, baby? How you feeling?
Hi, guys. How are you?
All right. He's feeling great. Last but not least, god damn it, y'all been waiting for it. Everybody get on your goddamn feet. The point guard of the team.
Who gets on the feet for the point guard?
Shit.
Mr. Still Your Girl from back in the day. Newly domesticated and always hated. Mr. Lifestyle Fashion. Yeah! All right, everyone stop. Enough. All right, let's get into that real funky shit. Yeah. All right. So I decided to host today, guys. I decided to bring some energy to everybody's, and you know, it was a good try.
Keep it fresh.
No,
I like it.
It was great. It was great, Chris.
I think I'll subscribe.
You know what?
You notice I'm showing my teeth?
Yeah, man. That's a good thing.
It's real.
Oh god, that was terrible. I thought about that shit like 10 minutes before we got on air.
Is that why you asked what our height was?
Yeah, I was like, shit.
Why do you know my height?
What's the cool like intro? Like, who doesn't want a basketball intro, right?
Right.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
All right, let's get into it.
I didn't know I had more sneakers than Foot Locker. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Anyways,
I was just trying to hype you up, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! I mean, you could have let that rock.
Niggas don't need to know what you got.
Anyways, you can let that rock. It's okay.
Shit, man.
Continue.
You got a sneaker plug on Saturdays, dog. You let them know you got those sneakers, cuz.
Thank you.
Oh shit!
Thank you.
No problem. Anyways, guys, so as a group, we start talking about marriage, and I did some research on it, right? And did you guys know 50% of all marriages end in divorce?
50%?
Is it got up to 50 now? It's 50 now?
It's 50%.
So
I know.
Is this one of the moments where you like look left, look right? Now one of us aren't gonna be married.
One of y'all will not be here. Yeah, I don't know. It's 50%.
It is.
That's crazy.
50%. And I think we are in the age range from like 30 to 39. We're like 23.4%.
Oh man.
On that divorce rate as African Americans. We're the number 6 in the world in divorce rate. Like, shit. As a population. Yeah, we are fucking terrible.
Jeez.
So with that being said, fellas, why did y'all decide to get married?
Because I believe in monogamy.
Okay.
Nah.
I got married because my wife is the greatest wife in the entire world. I love her very much. She's my world.
You gotta come better than that. I got it on my screensaver. My baby. It's my baby. And I love my baby.
More than you love your baby.
No, man. I don't know. Like, so our story like started in high school. Then we reconnected in towards the end of my fuck shit years or whatever of college, and and I don't know. Like, we just clicked, and it just kind of happened, and we just like she was still in Kansas and I was in Alabama, and we just kept in contact, kept meeting up, talking, like fucking high school kids all night, every night, and shit just happened. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bow, bow, bow. Oh, that's good though. That's you. So you known her for that's a long fucking time to know somebody.
It is.
Did anything change when you guys started like living together?
Yeah, she gets on my nerves very fast. It went from like a 10-minute span to like a 10-second.
That is when I said, you know what, she's the one.
Yep, basically. I'm like, you know what, you strike a little something in me, so let's see where this can go.
What about you, Mark? Oh shit.
As I stated earlier, my wife is the greatest wife that ever wifed in the entire universe.
Is that including DC? Marvel?
Including DC. Image, Vertigo, Dark Horse.
Jesus.
Showing my nerdness right there. No, okay, so I'll say this. I mean, it's funny because I was making fun of Tim, but I knew that mine was going to be the sappy one. So I guess I'll speak to it. So I didn't know my wife for an extended period of time. I didn't. I met her, actually, it's kind of a funny story, but I met her through a friend who's actually no longer a friend anymore. It was like his birthday, and his girlfriend was there, and that was her friend. And when I met her, I was kind of in the midst of my fuck shit as well, as Tim so eloquently put it. It's funny because it was kind of after college, and I had just got like a job, right? And I was still at the crib, right? But I didn't really have to be. But it's like, being raised by foreign parents, it's like, well, I mean, what are you gonna go do? Waste all your money and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you're right, Mom. You're right. So I had a job and I was at the crib and I just had money. And I was just like, I was feeling myself. And I thought it was just gonna be a year of just yes. And then
yes, man.
I remember when the recruiter told me how much I was getting paid. I thought he said like 4,200. He said no, 42,000. I was like, oh.
But every time you say that story, I'm like, you were okay with 4,200? Like,
Chris, listen.
I'm just happy to have a job, guys.
Chris, no, what it was is that like really what it was a hookup. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend that happened to go to high school with another friend. And it was kind of like one of those deals. So I was getting laced up, but I didn't realize I was getting laced up. So I thought it was like maybe some temp stuff. Maybe I was going to work for a little bit. I thought maybe the contract was only for like a month or something. I didn't understand how it worked. But when he said 42,000, I was like, oh shit.
I'll take that. Great.
So and then, it was through an agency, so I was getting paid every week. So it was just like, you know what I'm saying? It was just an instant reserve. So at that point, I was really feeling myself.
Here we come, baby.
Right.
Yeah, it was gonna be crazy. I was gonna be traveling. I was gonna do all types of cool stuff. Anyways, I'll say when I first met her, I never told her this actually, but when I first met her, essentially, I knew there was something there. I played it. Because I was in my fuck shit, I played it obviously, I did it like very juvenile. So when I met her, I damn near like slapped her 5, like, what up? And I went on to my
kept it moving.
Because what happened is like, so it was like her friend and then her and then like my homeboy, because they went to college together and like it's weird. Like everyone kind of knows each other somewhere, somehow. Anyways, but I said what's up to my friend. I said what's up to his girl because I met his girl prior to that. And I saw her and I was like, oh, what up? Damn near like, what up? Because,
What up, nigga?
Yeah, because, you're fuck shit. So he's like, oh, I can't be impressed with you.
Right.
But I kind of knew then that there was like, okay, something about that's a little special. So I definitely like, I definitely social media stalked. I did jump in the DM, and I think by the second date, I kind of understood that this was something different, and I pretty much canceled all other activity that I had going on at the time.
Bro, the hardest
And
moment.
I had some activity. I'll tell you what.
The hardest moment.
I'll tell you what. I had some activity. It was real promising. The portfolio was looking really nice. But anyways, I canceled all activity. And I think what it was is for me, ultimately, why as I got to know the person and as we went through our own difficulty in regards to just our personalities, she stuck out. And I knew that this person was an individual who, this is going to sound like some, old school stuff, but I mean, I was raised by foreigners, but number one, I knew that this is the individual that I wanted to have kids with. I knew that actually very early. And I also knew that this person I genuinely liked. And it was more than like a physical situation, like I genuinely liked. So I realized very early that I was, I guess in love.
Aww.
You got to kiss the girl. Okay.
And that's you know what? We're gonna do this thing,
huh? Yeah, because I think we were only dating for
second.
Yeah, it wasn't very long. I don't think. I think Chris thought I married somebody else. I was like, what? No.
I low key did. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was like, let's change a little bit. Oh, and again, it was none of my business. Like, it is what it is. But then you're like, no, that's not her. And I was like, oh, well, shit, what? You know, waste my time.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Anthony?
Well, you guys know me and Miss Elizabeth's story because I was doing my fuck shit with y'all niggas.
Hell, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come again. Come again.
Can't.
I don't.
I knew Liz when I was 21. I met Liz.
Don't know what you're talking about.
You was pretty sneaky because I didn't see anything.
I didn't see not a damn thing. I was minding my damn business in my room.
Y'all know what happened. Remember that time?
I don't know none of that, sir, actually.
Well, I met her at 21, and I was in the midst of being we just started the party promoting thing and stuff. I was like, yo, she is gonna fuck it all up. So I tried to hold her off as much as I possibly could, like just a friend. Then I got in trouble and went to jail with that speeding ticket shit. And
you went to jail? You went to jail?
I go to jail for that shit.
Damn, man. Locked up, won't let me out.
Well, I called my sister and I was like, yo, I think it was like $500 for like hit bail shit or whatever to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called my sister and she was like, no. I was like, what? And I only knew Liz maybe a month or two. And I called Liz and I was like, yo, I need $500. You think you can get me out? She's like, yes. Beep. In like 10 minutes, she was at the jail. I was like, I got you. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. And I remember my sister saying, Chris, you got to give her a chance. Like my older sister was like, you got to give her a chance because we ain't going to get you out of jail. And I was like, let me straighten up. That's when we started dating or whatever. But I guess throughout that whole course of like the entire time, she's always had my back. Like we could literally be in the middle of an argument and I got some important shit to do and she dropped what she had to do. We forget about the anger. She does what we have to get done and then she'll get back being mad once we're finished. And I was like, no matter what happens, she's always done that. So, over time, I'm just like, yo, I don't think there's any other, like all the other girls I was fucking around with and doing all that bullshit with, I was just like, yeah, this is stupid. What am I doing here? Let me go ahead and get married so I can leave all this shit behind. And yeah, that's what I did. That was me and Les. We've known each other for a long fucking time and still, things got better, but I think, as far as marriage is concerned, we've been through all that bullshit. So it's like, we really don't have much to go. That's new. So it's like, yeah.
When did y'all know?
I knew when I lost my job. One of the times I'd lost a lot of jobs. But one of the times I lost my job and all my homeboys like flipped on me. I was on some like, oh, that nigga broke. Not y'all niggas, because you know everyone that kind of dispersed at this time. So I was hanging out with a new group of niggas, and those niggas,
oh yeah,
no good. Those niggas
you know
you
what
gotta
happened.
watch out for.
You know what happened.
We all moved, nigga. You moved and Tim moved.
Y'all know what happened.
Disperse.
Those niggas ain't shit. But anyways, that happened, and I was just like, yo, the realest person on our team was Liz. She's the only person that's like, come on, I got you. So I was like, man, fuck that. I'm finna settle down and figure this shit out.
That's
So
real.
that's what I did. So heartbroken.
Well, I had an inkling. Once again, I said I'm the sucker on this one, but I knew essentially just 2 times. The first time I knew, but I kind of was like, nigga, this is too early. You can't know at this point. But I think it was like our second date. It sounds pretty bad, but I think it was our second date. And like I said, at the time, I mean, I was living at the spot. I had a grown person check, and I really had no bills. So really, I wasn't broke per se. I just couldn't do something nice. Like we could have gone to like a mid-tier restaurant or whatever. But I was like, you know, for some reason I was doing like this toxic like testing. I was like, yeah. She was like, so did you, I was like, she asked if she wanted to hang out, and I was kind of like, yeah, but unfortunately right now I'm a little strapped. I mean, we can wait till next week or whatever. And she's like, no, it's cool, it's on me. And like,
nigga married girl, I'll tell
right.
you what. He'd be like,
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what?
saying,
That's
like,
what I'm
man.
talking about, nigga.
Right.
I guess
that's my
this.
boo.
That right.
I mean, we didn't go
My
into.
eighth
We didn't do
from
anything. I mean, we didn't do anything crazy. I think we just want to have some hot chocolate and some like desserts or something in like some like nice little suburban town or whatever the case may be. But I remember going, okay, this person is completely different. There was really no hesitation in that. And then like the second time is I lost my job. And I think what happened, I lost my job. I actually lost my job like because we talked for a while, and then like I think the first week of us being together, I lost my job. And I think this is like month 3, like when we trying to find a job.
Girl.
Yeah, month 3 trying to find a job. And it was like my car payment. I was like, you know, Mitsubishi wasn't really, you know, they weren't really fooling with the cat. And I was just kind of just talking in general, just what's going on. And she was just like, well, I mean, I could spot you. And her hesitation was not because she didn't want to do it. Her hesitation was she didn't want to emasculate. And I can kind of hear it in the voice. And at that point, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, this is definitely, okay, this is confirmed at this point. And yeah. And through all the trifling stuff, she kind of stuck around. So, you know, I was like, hey, you know, okay, well, this is happening at that point.
Yeah. The job things will really put you to the test, boy. Because I know a lot of girls like, I'm just supposed to sit here and be supported. What you doing? Wait a second.
And yeah, and like I think it was like 4 months without a job. So this is like month 3. I think it was like month 2 or month 3. I think it was. And she was just like, you go from like decent restaurant to like 2 for $20s at Chili's. Now, mind you though, I still held down Marshalls for all throughout this time. I didn't quit Marshalls until Enterprise. Yep.
So you kind of still had some cheese, but just not the same.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like retail, bro. Like I was working like, you know what I'm saying? I was working retail. Like, and I went from being like one day to like, hey, can I get more hours? And like, well, no. You taught us how to stunt, remember? You taught us how to stunt, remember? When I got my real job, I was like, well, hey guys, like I can't work here anymore. I can give you 2 weeks, or I can just, if you could put me down on the weekends, I'll work the weekends. And they just put me on the weekend. So I had 2 jobs.
Nah, nigga, you a weekend nigga.
But to the point, like back when I was talking about, like I was working 2 jobs. I was essentially working 2 jobs, sleeping at the house. I mean, I didn't have bills for real. So at that time, I thought, it was, you lied to me.
What I need a girl for, man. That's a rough one. I think my worst things is I was just a fucking, I don't know. I like girls. I was that guy.
I think we all do, Chris. But okay.
No. It was a problem. I couldn't stop myself. My ego would take over, and I'm like, I need all the girls. And I think that was our test of time was that. I think she left me once because I was like, I think I went to a homecoming, and she was like, if you go to homecoming, I'm leaving. I was like, well, leave then. And I went, and she actually left, and I was like, but wait. that was something that hurt me. That hurt. I said, well, whew, that was hurtful. I tried to go back one. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. It was rough. I had never been hurt so much in my life. She went out with another fella, and I found out, and I was like, but why? And then I had to get back in. That shit was terrible, boy. She told me that shit, and then I a couple of days later, because she left, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. So I was like on that bullshit, like, shit, nigga, party over here. And like after 2 or 3 days, you sit at the house, you're like, damn, she sure didn't call, huh? And then like I think that's back when I had that BMW, and I was the fucked up part about that night, I was racing somebody, got a ticket, turned around, raced another person on the way back to the crib, and my BMW blew, the engine blew, and I was just like, so I had a ticket and I didn't have a car, and so I thought I could call Liz. I was like, hey, I need help. She's like, call that other bitch. Like, oh, no.
That's on some movie quality, like shit.
You're living an interesting life back then, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, oh no. And then that's when I had to get back on my game. I was taking her out to all kinds of operas and, all kinds of fancy dancy shit. It's like, you want to go to dinner? Hmm? He's like, no, I'm busy. Why? I went by the crib one time. Her car wasn't there. And I was gonna like put candy in her car, and I was like, oh no. She's out.
Yeah.
I was hurt. It's like, like those kids back in the day, like, when kids don't want to play with the toy to someone else plays with the toy, you're like, this is my toy.
They come up and just snatch it like, ah.
I was ready to whoop ass and everything. I was like, who's the nigga? Huh? I'll beat his ass. But did
you find out who it was?
No, she was just out with her friends. Like, she just made it. She was just like one of those, like, she was like, I'm going out and I'm going to talk to other guys. Like, guys would talk to her in the club and all that bullshit. And, I tried to pretend like it didn't make me feel no way, but it did. I was like, I'll talk to all. But then, during those times, all your bitches are like, nah.
Yeah, that's typically what happens, bro. Oh, she doesn't want you anymore? Oh, yeah, whatever. Look, what? Wait, what?
I'm busy. Like,
I did this for you.
Like, you're in a relationship, right? You're good, right?
So yeah, I was like, oh no, that was the worst time ever. That's when I was like, yeah, you probably should cool your jets, Turbo. It doesn't work out the way you thought it was gonna work out. They're not just gonna wait for you.
Man,
that's my advice to women. Just if you love a guy, leave him. He'll figure it out. And if he doesn't care, baby, he doesn't love you no way. Advice. Message.
Right. Message. That's true though. Like if she dips out, you'll either chase her or you keep playing the field.
Yeah, niggas, if you don't give a fuck about a girl, you ain't gonna chase her. Like, that just doesn't make sense. It's a waste of my time. You'll come back when you get back. Like, that's what I'd always tell, like, I guess when I was with other girls, like, if you leave, you just left. Like, the fuck you want me to do? You'll be back here. You'll be back eventually. And if you don't, then whatever. I don't care. Man. Have you guys ever had those problems? As your side chick? Not a side chick. Yeah, you can call her a side chick. It doesn't have to be about your marriage. Not your marriage. But back in the day, has your side chick ever left you for another nigga?
I don't know. I guess I never really inquired.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought about that shit too. I was like, I don't care enough to inquire, but even if you have a nigga, it's none of my business. Because you're not.
Whenever I did have those scenarios, I think the understanding was always, I was always very upfront. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think those individuals that I was dealing with, they understood like what this was. And I think I never had to have a conversation outside of that.
But one person always catches feelings in like those little situations. One person always does.
Yeah. But you could always fall back on it. Like when you come in with honesty, like it alleviates any kind of
you just hold them to the fire.
Yeah.
It's like, well, hey,
like, well,
listen.
Yeah.
We had a conversation. It was very clear and concise. It was very clear and concise conversation. But I've noticed that what I've been told, and this is just what I've been told, so please, audience, let us know. But I was always told that my actions didn't necessarily match my words. Apparently, because if you're nice to people, apparently that says something different.
Yeah, man. You can't be like, you know, long, deep stroking her and then telling her you love her in her ear and then be like, nah, bitch, we just friends. That's a confusing message.
I never did that, sir. But I typically was raised to be a nice individual, so I was nice to people. Well, you know, Tim. That explains the Tim Dungeon, Tim. That explains it. That's how you had him in that Tim Dungeon. You out here just, I love you.
No, never that part.
You rubbing their hair and just like, I love you. Touching the side of the face.
He's whispering in her ear.
Like, I love you.
I want to hug you.
I'm just waiting on Tim.
You keep telling that story, bro. That's it.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen, though. Like, it was freezing cold outside, freezing. Because I was on my motorcycle and I was like, this is ridiculous. I get to the crib and this girl's just sitting on the back of a car. I'm like, you all right, baby? And she's just like shaking to death. I'm like, you good? She's like, I'm just waiting on Tim. And I was like, she didn't know me. So I'm thinking she's just telling niggas that to walk by. I'm just waiting to like sit in the car.
Right, though. Oh, man.
You want to explain yourself, Tim?
Nope.
You don't want to explain that? That's just you wait for me outside. Was she on punishment? Is that what it is? She lost her car privileges?
We were coming from a club or something. I don't know. Me and Chris were out. And she was drinking. So she was intoxicated. And she was like, I don't know. She was like, saying she was going to stop by or something. But I was like, we're out. So it's going to be a minute. And yeah, so me and Chris, you know, had our fun, whatever, was out, coming back. Chris beats me there. And
and I didn't know what to tell, like, come in. So I was like, I guess you just sit out there until Tim gets there. I don't know.
So you didn't say like, hey, I live with Tim. You want to come inside?
She just sat there. If I just like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm just waiting on Tim. I was like, he'll be here in a second. I figured that would connect the dots. Like, we're roommates. She just sat there. I wasn't feeling like, come on in. Like, I didn't want to be that. Tim coming like, did you invite that bitch in my house? Like, you know what? Because if Tim would have cared, he would have said, Chris, there's a girl waiting up there. Told me to come to the crib. He never gave me that go. So we gonna sit outside till Tim gets here because I don't want no problems. Because I've had problems with other niggas. Like, you try to talk to my girl. Like, nah, man. I'm trying to be nice.
Like, I didn't even hear from her like for like that hour after she said she was coming by. So that's, I don't know why she was outside or whatever, you know, intoxication.
Because you wanted it, you told us. Because you told her to.
Maybe I did. Maybe I was, you know, it was a drunk.
You were fucking up yesterday. And for that, you wait outside.
And if you're not outside, you ain't coming over. It was a strange thing, man. That was very, very strange. Very funny though.
Just the waiting on Tim.
But yeah, back to the marriage, because we're all married. And this is gonna be we're talking about marriage, guys, not back in the day. I know everyone has a ring. Fuck y'all, I don't. So what?
I don't have mine on.
Oh, okay, good. I don't ever have one on. Because that's a dilemma too. Women like the ring. They're like, so you married, huh?
Right. A marked man.
Yeah, I'm married. They're like, Things I would do to you if you weren't married. Nelly, that's
Crap
pretty
and a half.
aggressive. I
only
got
had
told
one.
I told
I've
that
only had
story.
like a handful of situations that video games definitely happen. Video games definitely happen. I definitely had my ring on when video games happen.
Oh,
Which is probably one of the reasons why I was like,
marking video games. I don't know if you want to tell that story. So,
yeah, I'm confused.
That's a strange story. Go ahead, Mark. It's on you.
no, I'm not telling that story. Tim, you know the story.
I don't know the story.
Y'all still playing video games?
Well, I mean, you can tell the story because you did the right thing, nigga.
Yeah, but I still,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now she's gonna, if she watches this, she's gonna be like, "So what's who's the video game?"
She gonna, hey.
Huh?
If she watches, she's gonna say, "So who's a video game girl?" And then the story.
I'll explain that story because obviously nothing happened. I don't have a problem doing that. Telling the truth is never really an issue, essentially for me. Sometimes I overtell the truth. That could be a problem.
I definitely do that.
What is overtelling the truth?
Huh?
What is overtelling the truth?
You just give details that probably you shouldn't give.
At all.
Sometimes they want to know that. Sometimes I think sometimes our wives want to know the information, but they just don't need. They don't want to know everything.
No, I tell everything if I'm a child.
Because I'm saying like you don't omit nothing. You don't omit any key details, but you don't have to be descriptive.
Oh no! What the hell?
I would be descriptive. Sometimes, I'm like, well, so it was
blonde hair. It was good looking, dog. Smelled like roses, Victoria's Secret. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh. Like, nah, man. You gotta make sure you don't want to be there.
Basically.
Oh,
that's a secret weapon. All right, fellas, let's get into the. I had another question for y'all. If you were to get divorced, would you ever get remarried?
Ooh.
What?
Was it a clean break? Was it she was doing dirty, rotten, nasty things?
That's another question. Would you rather your girl get fuck multiple guys or just fuck one guy multiple times if they were going to cheat?
I feel that they're all the same. I feel they're all the same thing.
It is, but I think mentally,
either way, it's over.
Either way, I mean,
either way,
100%.
Either way, it's done. I mean, for me, so one of my advantages in dealing with the opposite sex, I say, is the fact that I wasn't very judgmental. It's kind of how I was able to do what I was able to do in college, but I wasn't very judgmental. And even in that aspect, I think my psyche, like regardless, I think I'll have the same blow to the blow to my ego would be equal, regardless of it, whatever the situation is. Like if it was multiple people or if it was just one dude a whole bunch of times. So that I have the same blow. So to me, it'd be the same thing. It'd be either or. I'm gonna look at you the same. I'm gonna put you in that same category.
The trust, everything. That shit's broke.
So you guys wouldn't come back from a cheating incident. You guys wouldn't do it.
I don't think I'm there yet.
One of them, whichever one it was. Which one would it be? I would choose multiple, man. Like I'd much rather you fuck multiple guys because at least I can understand it. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like feelings attached.
Yeah, it's no feelings attached. It's just you wanted to get a nut. Like it is what it is. Like you're human, like I'm human. Like I get it. Shit. But if you have one nigga, then you love that nigga, and I'm competing now. So I think that would hurt me worse. Is like you got one nigga, that many. Damn, you know she sucked his dick. You don't even. Ask that question.
That happens though. People suck. people do that.
But what I'm saying,
people do that.
You know how that hurts your heart when you know someone sucked your dick with love,
like with intention. Yeah, like.
So you throw a dick in the mouth, I guess it's okay. But you know, you love that nigga. You made love to that nigga's dick with your mouth, like love, Lord have mercy, Jesus. That would hurt me. You raggedy bitch. But if you just fucked a bunch of niggas, I'd be like, shit, man.
But what if she
That's
did
the
that to
system.
multiple dudes? What if she did that to multiple dudes?
Just give it the buffet every time.
Like that?
I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm trying to hit. Oh, go ahead.
I couldn't, like, I don't know. The way I think about it is it just wouldn't allow me to move forward. Like, I would always either collapse back on that because of the ego or whatever, like the broken trust, or I don't know, like that.
Yeah, it's gonna
feeling
destroy
betrayed.
your ego. Yeah, because you're like, damn, someone else then marked your territory. That's your territory.
Right.
Damn. Someone ran all over that.
Right.
And
like,
didn't
so
care about you.
Like, I thought I had a whole castle. Like, it was just a sandcastle. Like, nah. Like, I gotta move on. I gotta keep it pushing.
But okay, we'll make it a lot easier. What if she cheated one time? Is that something y'all can figure out and get over?
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. The reason why I said I don't know if I'm mature enough to deal with it is because, yes, but the issue is, I think I'm at a point. I'm not at a point where I've grown out of this mentality. We can definitely move on from either scenario, but that just means that I get to do what I want to do. And at that point, the relationship is over, right?
Right.
Yeah,
100%. 100%. It's coming back to that.
Because to me, it's like, okay, I can understand it, and I can understand whatever reason you give me. But now, listen, now it's my turn, right? And we just got to even this out, and then we can just be back at square one.
I'll be right back.
Right.
Gotta go out.
You staying out?
I gotta go get some milk.
I'm going to the store for cigarettes. You don't smoke. I know. I'll be back.
Getting some damn duck.
He went to go get a loaf of bread and never came back.
They gotta go see a man about a dog.
So I think at that point, because I know at least for the person I'm married to, if that were to happen, right, and then if my counter were to be like, okay, well, this is what's about to happen. I know that individual is not gonna. I know they're not gonna take that,
right?
Regardless of if it's justified that it's my turn or not. I just know that she's not gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, go ahead.
I guess I think about it because I go, if you think about I'm not saying all of your grandparents. I'm not talking about y'all's grandparents, nobody else out there. But if you think about old people, right? You like your grandparents, some grandparents. Sure. That nigga, that marriage, the grandpa had a whole family down the street, and the grandma knew about it, but she never really did anything about it. She's just like, I'm gonna make my marriage last. He comes home every night. So I go like, if you think about long term, right? For if something like that happens, you think about it like that year it sucks. But if you stay with that person for 20 years, does that year even really matter? You know what I'm saying?
Right, like longevity or like
the
I don't know. It does. I guess it depends on like when it happens. Because
it can't happen towards the end. That'd be crazy. Like at the beginning, right? Like it just happens throughout the marriage, right? Everyone has ups and downs, and it happens, right? If you look at it from a bigger picture, because that's what I start thinking about. Like, I know some. So I know like an older couple, and he, cheated on his wife a lot, but they've been together for like 35 years now. And he was like, I was wild at the beginning, but now our marriage is, strong, and, we had to raise our kids and blah, 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 blah. So that's what made me think of like perspective of like, at the beginning, she could have just left him and it would have ruined a lot of other shit, but she didn't. She stayed home. She, knew he was doing all this other extra shit, but never really left.
But with those situations, I always see like there's a broken thing in their relationship. Like they don't have that communication.
Yeah.
Or no, it's mostly like communication. Like somebody's always holding that over the other person's head, or it's like resentment. And it's like, can you live with that the rest of your life? Me,
Well, I don't know what they do at the behind closed doors, but
Right.
in public they seem like they're fine, and she understood it, and they joke about it every once in a while, but she stuck by his side, and some people are like that's stupid, but some people go, well, now she's thriving, like they live a decent life, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, okay, so it's funny. So recently Nick Cannon was on The Breakfast Club, and he was talking about his his harem of women, I guess. And a female friend of mine actually posted this on Facebook, and she was just like, basically, she stated that women more so are the issue that most women have when it comes down to men who cheat is not because of the moral implications. It's more because of the fact that most men who are out here doing this don't have the means essentially to basically support both situations. So they know someone's going to be the lesser essentially.
Right.
That's basically what she said. Basically, she's saying that like and she basically used Nick Cannon as a result that, like, for instance, like Nick Cannon essentially is a present father. He claims to be a present father in all his children's lives, and he has the financial means to support all of those households that he has children in. So no one is tripping. And then she basically also talked about history throughout the courses of history, like high value men have always had, polyamorous relationships, and it's been and basically she's saying this is just human conditioning essentially. I thought that was interesting. I'm pretty sure she's single, but whatever. But I thought it was interesting.
But even if you think about it, right?
Joke. Just in case you see it, joke. Anyway.
Even if you think about it, right? Like when a man cheats on a woman, the woman's not really angry. Like, it's like she can go up to the girl like, he just fucked you. So what? Like, a man can't do that to another nigga. Like, so she just fucked you. Like, he's like, I know. But like women kind of like, he don't really give a fuck about you. He just fucked you. And I think maybe the act of having sex with someone isn't what women get angry about. It's maybe like the how do you care about that person? That the emotional part about it, I think, was more the point with women. I think that's how that goes. I don't know, but that's how I always see it. Like, women can see it and not be as angry, but when man sees it, it's just like ego torn apart. You did what? When someone starts sucking dick for blacks, it's a heartbreaker. High school is rough for me. Those blacks were even for me.
I have one of those situations though.
$2.
So I mean, we can move on. Like, I guess you guys talk to each other. So did you guys have sex? You know what? This is not going to work.
That's how that went?
Yeah, that's how it went. I mean, I knew that it happened. I knew that it happened. So honestly, I was just asking to be a dick, to be honest with you. Like, I knew that it happened. So I didn't take, if she said yes, I wouldn't have taken it as bad as she thought I was going to take it. But I just needed to hear her say it out of her mouth. Really, what I was looking for is the I told you so. Because this is a girl I was actually in a relationship with. And when the fella first presented himself, it was like a work friend. And I was just like, hey, just so you know, because my whole motto is this: I'm going to trust you unlimitedly until you fuck up. And at that point, then we have to figure out, that's a no man's land. I don't really know what to do at that point. We'll figure that out and get there. But I'm going to trust you unlimitedly, because to me, it's just too much work to be like, what are you doing? Yeah. But if I see something, I'm gonna let you know, because I think sometimes, I've thought that back in the day, well, at least back in the day, I thought that, sometimes like women are a little naive. So it's like, that guy's not friends with you. He wants to have sex with you. You just about everybody. No, I'm just letting you know. Like, he's like texting you at this time because he wants to know if he could text you at this time. That's it. Like, why is he texting you?
That happens today.
It's 8:30. Like, why is he texting you? Like, we're together. Like, we just had sex. Like, why is he texting you?
Right.
Like, why is he texting you?
Yeah, isn't there like some
think about it?
Like, who said this shit? Like, no, there's no real straight man that wants to be a girl's friend. Like, it's not possible.
Steve Harvey.
Was it?
I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've had a completely platonic friendship with a female and nothing sexual happened.
But was this from like a childhood friend or like adults meeting?
No, one of them, y'all know. I had to save her from Chris that one time.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh shit. Anyways,
gotcha.
I have never had it. Every time I try to have a friend that's platonic, she always ends up trying to like it's like something else, and I'm like, no, I don't like you like that. I just want to be a friend. Because I find like kicking it with girls is easier than kicking it with niggas for real. Like just kicking it.
Oh, so much easier.
They don't have as many
men in their egos are weird, bro. They've always been weird. Like a dude, you be cool with a dude, and then like you say something, and it's like, what? Pistols are done?
Yeah,
what?
Basically. Challenge. It's a challenge.
I pissed people off. I didn't even realize I pissed off. I was like, what?
Nah, you did that often.
Yeah.
He did it all.
Yeah,
but it is because like with females, it's just like it's just chill.
Yeah, you can just literally, hey, you can pick up from a kid. You want to go to so and so. Girls they always have money. They always can go do what they want to do. Like we call niggas like, oh man, oh shit.
Right.
Woo,
like go to the club. Yeah, I'd rather go to the club with girls. You know how many times we'd be in front of we'd be in front of freaking Crossroads. It's like, man, if it's 30, I ain't paying it. I was like, what did y'all think it was gonna be? We left at 11 o'clock. They told you if you wanted to get in free, you had to be in here.
We had to dip off on a couple of times. And they had like cheaper drinks at the beginning. So I don't know.
Bro, I remember that one time. I hate to say this. I remember that one time there was a horse and we could get in free at a certain time. And, and I remember for the audience, there was a club called The Horse that was right next to our apartment. They were letting people in free and at a certain time, and everybody was dragging their feet to get ready. I was ready mad early. And I remember one of our associates decided that I need to go get an ATM. And I like go to the ATM over here. I don't bank with them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was like, all right, y'all go ahead and go. And I just walked my ass over there and got it free and then sat down and just had a drink. And I just kept drinking until they got it.
Man, I was too mad.
Oh, you went with them too?
Yeah, because I think I had the working car at the time or something. I don't know. It was some situation.
Nigga, you have to pay for me at this point.
man, right. Go ahead and take out an extra 30
for gas.
Y'all had to pay 30 that night. I know y'all had to pay 30 that night.
That's crazy. That's insane. But yeah, just hanging out with women is easier. But back to the whole, would you get married if y'all got a divorce?
Yeah.
I would.
I don't know. It depends on who you meet. Like, I think it'd have to be like the same situation of like playing the field or whatever. Because I mean, this is at like a different stage of with money. You're more secure with who you are, and I don't know. You're just more secure in your life. So, or better position in your life. So, to be uprooted out of that, to go through the dating scene, which isn't that bad, but like build that trust and I don't know, I guess build that support with somebody else is, I don't know, that shit takes a while and takes a lot of time. So it's like that person would have to be worth it. Like it would have to be like some scripted love, like some movie scene type of scenario of like,
Tim ain't going.
I ain't going.
I agree with everything Tim just said. Fuck that shit. If I get divorced, it just wouldn't happen. It couldn't happen. I couldn't do it. There's no one else in the world that has done what Liz has done. All they did was reap benefits at this point. So it was like, fuck that. I'd much and I'm at this point in my life, is like, I'm not gonna compromise. Like, I'm not compromising for a woman at this point. Like, if she says some wild shit to me, or like, I don't like when you do that, nigga, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
Like it goes back.
Like you do one thing that I wouldn't like. I'd be like, yeah, I'm done with this. I'd be real picky because it's like I'm not gonna go back and have to, change my lifestyle. Like I just wouldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, and these apps are too successful. Like,
and I would want 2 girlfriends. Like I know that that's a possible thing now. I would need 2. So it's like I already know if I get out, I have to get 2. I wouldn't do 1. That's silly.
Gotta upgrade.
I need 2. They can sync periods, so I can get 1 week of bullshit, and other than that, they figure this shit out. Crash your drawers on the floor. When do you niggas pick that shit up? Y'all figure it out. We're a team here. That's what I would want.
Pick up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Pick it up.
They I wouldn't have to get yelled at. They could talk to each other about how terrible of a person I am. Like I don't have to hear the shit. It'd be amazing. It would be amazing. So I would need 2 girlfriends if I ever got out of this. That would be my goal.
Okay. Well,
I seen a white kid do it, so I'm like, I know if he can do it, I can do it.
Oh, that's in the whole documentary. I was like,
oh no, in like real life, like I was at a club and he was like, oh, this is my girlfriend, it's my other girlfriend. He like kissed them both in front of me, and I was like, oh shit,
respect.
And I was like, that's real. And now that I seen it, I was like, oh, I know I can do that. I was impressed. That was the first white person I've ever been impressed by. I was like, oh shit. And they were kind of tough too. He was like, kiss one on the mouth and kiss the other one in the mouth and grab the other one's ass. Like, oh, this nigga's real. So how you do that, man?
You're right. Let me buy you a drink. Tell me the story.
Yeah. And they were friends at first, and it turned into that.
Well, I'll say for myself, I think I can do that. I'll say for me, I think I definitely could do it again. I know for myself, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go into it with any type of expectations. I feel expectations has always been the detriment to a lot of my experiences in regards to that. And as I've evolved into a person who kind of knows himself now, one of the things I know about myself is I enjoy people in that regard. And I do enjoy the mystery of individuals, which is weird, but I do. So for me, it's to say like, look, I would never do it again is probably, I think for me, I'm going to be very go with the flow. And if that's conducive to being married again or not, we'll see. But I think that's what I would be. I'd be very go with the flow. I'm not going to go out. Like if this were to collide or crescendo on itself, I wouldn't be like, I'm never doing that again. While I don't think I'll ever find anybody like, my wife, you know what I'm saying? And I do feel that my wife is a very special person, and there's that person that she's going to always hold that part. I also do feel that that's going to be uncharted territory. So trying to navigate it with whatever expectations, and I'm just going to go with the flow. That's it. I'm going to go with the flow. I guess I'm taking a hippie approach in that regard. But I mean, even back to that last statement that you said, like for me, it's like, okay, so you did that. So I know this. Like, this is what I want to do now. Are you okay with that? Can we continue to move forward if I do that? No? Okay. All right, well, I might have to insist. I might have to insist. Not okay, well, I get it. I think it's just that me and her actually had a conversation about that. And they were just like, what would you tell yourself? And it'd just be like, and one of the things I said, I'll just tell myself to calm the fuck down. Like, just calm the fuck down. Like, if I had to go back out there, just calm the fuck down, right? Just calm down. It is what it is. You're already out here. Calm down. See what happens. Because honestly, man, I see that a lot of guys get worked up as far as the environment. Like the last podcast, we talked about the fit and fresh and all that other stuff that's going on. It's like, I mean, everyone's not going to be like that. You figure out what's going on. You'll find out very quickly if someone is just there to be an actor, just there just to benefit off your assets. You'll know. Like people always do this.
I don't mean it like people like that's her intent, but like I would just feel that way. Like
I don't understand that.
That's just how that would be. It wouldn't be like her intentions probably be pure, but I just be like, you just came into this and you're here now.
Yeah.
Great, you're here, but it's like I'm not.
And that's my thing. Be here. But that's my thing though. Like for me, like I don't want to. For me, I want to like whatever experiences I experience after this is just experience. I'm just gonna experience it fully, if that makes sense. So if I meet you and I'm in a better situation, first of all, who knows if we're gonna be in a better situation after this, because divorce is a mother. But anyways, but if I meet you, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I might have more access than I had beforehand, but let's figure out who you are. And I think about it is that, man, like I said, you really, a lot of people tell you who they are very early. A lot of times what happens is people don't be listening.
Right.
People just don't listen. Or people don't listen. Like, brother, man, you look at yourself in the mirror, you know what that girl looks like. So you know what it is. You know what it is. You know what it is. If you're fat, bald, you're balding, if you know you look gross, you know what it is.
She might like that kind of shit, man. You don't know that girl like.
True.
Okay, that too. But Chris, you'll also know that though. Chris, you'll also know that though. Because what I'll say to you is this: is that when you're in it, when you're not in it, when you're only in it for a specific thing, those things have a tendency to reveal itself. So, like when I need you to bail me out, are you gonna do it?
No, you can't ask that girl for that. You know she ain't got no money. You knew that from the beginning.
Okay, but look,
run that
maybe she'll figure something out. Whatever, who knows? But you'll figure it out. Crisis reveal all.
But
I know
crisis would, but it's like I'm not gonna say that those things can never happen again, right? Because that could always happen. But if
the likelihood of it happening again,
the likelihood of it is very small. So it's like if those things happen to me again, it's like I can take care of myself at this point. Like I got it. Go ahead. Boom, 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 boom. Like, back in the day when you got a ticket, it was like, what the fuck? How am I gonna get this $120? Now I got it. The last ticket I got, I was like, oh, shit. Went online like the once it hit and just paid it. Like it's no big deal anymore.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, that's not an experience for everybody. Also, as well, I think people get caught up in this whole "I'm not wasting time" thing.
I'm not wasting time. What do you mean?
Like I don't want to waste any time.
Like a lot of people
say, like a lot of people yeah. So a lot of people stay in marriages. A lot of people stay in marriages unhappy because they don't want to go and deal with what's out there, and because because they understand there's this idea of I don't want to waste time. I only have this limited time in this earth, and I don't want to waste it on a situation that's whatever.
You wasted on being miserable. I'm saying that's a hell of a trade-off, ain't it?
A lot of people are.
A lot of people do.
I can understand, like, I understand from an aspect because, there was one point me and Liz talked about having a divorce a while back, and my kids are more important to me. So it was like, I'm going to stay and try to make this work because I don't want my kids having to travel from home to home and deal with all that bullshit, right? Because I've seen it, like, from another side. I've seen kids that have to do that, and they hate it. They're like, I hate going from one, like, why can't my parents just figure that shit out? Right. And you decide to have kids, they didn't decide to be had. You're like, you gotta be an adult, figure that shit out and try to make it work. Now, sometimes like if he's beating the shit out of you or something, yeah, you might want to get the fuck out of there. But if it's something as simple as like y'all just argue a lot, like figure that shit out. Try to at least give it a chance. I don't think people give it a chance because it's all about instant gratification now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? I don't know, but I think it's this, and he doesn't do every fucking thing I want him to do. So I'm unhappy, and vice versa. Guys do the same thing, not as much because the study was like 77% of women file for divorce, not men.
Gotcha.
So I think it's more women that are unhappy and they want to get happy, and they think like that 10% that they're missing is the happiness.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like anecdotally, because I don't have any statistics to back this up, but like when people enter that marriage realm, it's like they're expecting a relief of like duties of battling with that person, like your discussions or your arguments or whatever are just gonna like evaporate, which is not gonna happen.
I thought that. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tim. When I was like, yeah, if I get married, all that bullshit Liz said that, I'm out here in these streets, I thought that'll all just disappear. And it didn't. And I was like, yo, this is stupid.
Right.
and it's like I have to prove it. Like even like a lot of shit that we went through was like I had to prove myself all the way, to a point where I'm at now. But it's like I had the option to be like, fuck this, because that's what we argued about. It was like she wanted to be the lead, and I was like, nah, you're not. I am. And we clashed a lot. Yeah. And it was just like to a point where we're just like, fuck this, because everything was a fucking argument.
But I mean, and that's a part of it, because it's like you have to find your balance for one, right? And you have to find your, I don't know, what's the other piece? I don't know, find your, no, I guess it kind of goes in with your balance of like, find your role. Like,
right.
Every team has that role of like, what are you going to handle? Mm-hmm. And then also, like, you guys have to come together as a team and like find your goal. Like, what are you actually going for? Like, you got married to, like, I'm sure you click because of some type of characteristics, or your goals matched about
being I think those change too over time. Like, I think you change it to different people as you grow, and maybe one person stays still kind of, and as people grow and change, you kind of look at each other like, all right, well, this is not good. And I think that's a clash that happens with people. Is, the other thing I think is when women have kids, they feel like they have no other purpose but to be there for the kids, and it makes them feel some type of way, and they're like, I'm purposeless, like all I do is go to work and take care of kids, or all I do is take care of kids, and they get angry about that shit. And it's like, well, nigga, ain't no telling you to sit here and do that. I don't know, nigga, I don't know what you want to do.
Get on there and block some shit.
I don't fucking know. But I think they turn that against you, like it's your fault that they just have no purpose, and you're like, okay, what you want me to do about that shit? But I think that's like a big thing too. Like when people get married and have kids, it's just like a whole nother world that you're jumping into, and some people just aren't prepared for that shit, and they think the easy way out is just to like leave this person because someone else is talking sweet to them. Like, oh shit, that nigga doing all this shit, I'll never do that shit to you. And it's like, nigga, you see that bitch for like 10 minutes. Yeah,
it's too easy.
But that was the other thing I was looking at, like the top highest people that have a divorce, right? It was women, and what their jobs are. Their jobs are dancers, bartenders, massage therapists, gaming cage workers, and gaming service workers. These are the people that have the highest divorce rate. And if you think about all those,
that definitely paints a picture. Yeah.
Let me tell you the lowest: farmers.
Man, I'm going on farmers right now.
Optometrists and agriculture engineers. These people have shit to do. They are doing shit. They are busy. These bartenders out here like, shit, man. And they go to the drink every day. I love that. Wait, what are you talking about? But I thought that was, I think because you're surrounded by people all day and you hear so many opinions that you start to think that the grass is greener on the other side till you get your black ass over there. And then you're like, oh man.
Yeah, I'll say this, and I hate to say this, it's gonna sound rough, but I know this: as you get older in age, the dating game is really rough for them. It just gets really rough for them. Because I just realized, because I say this for real, like a lot of men, like we're talking about like when we get married again and the X, Y, and Z, if we were out here, we're all in our 30s, right? So that is the typical mindset. You guys' mindset is the typical mindset of the dude in their 30s who is either newly single or is still single and has some money in their pocket. Typically, most of those guys have that same mentality. So, very few dudes really have my mentality, which is like, well, I'm just gonna go out here and experience it. I'm not gonna cast judgment or whatever. I just, very few like like very few dudes are walking around here like that. So I mean, what happens is just like it's rough. It is rough. Not to Cameron Samuels this thing, but I mean, it's rough. I don't know what the numbers are, but I think the numbers are crazy. Like as far as likelihoods,
men or women.
Women.
Oh, I was going to say, oh yeah.
In general,
as women get older, they have less of a pool to pull from. Men can pull from anything they want to as they get older, as long as they have money. They can get anything. 18 and up, they can pull it all.
I see what you're saying.
Who
who they're trying to talk to. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like,
yeah,
it's just can't just be like, let me get an 18-year-old guy. She's 46. Like, it looks crazy. She can't take him to the office party and be like, he's a wannabe rapper.
We always go to rapper. What do you do again? Oh, so what I'm trying to do. Oh shit.
Hold on. Let me break this real quick for you. And you're like, oh no. or they do the, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh, that's nice.
So what's your current project? Like, what are you working on?
Oh,
I'm in between.
Have I ever told you I hate that I'm an entrepreneur, fellas? I hate them with a passion.
Some people, I was just talking to someone that said that to me, and I mean, he kind of is, because he does different things, and I can kind of understand why he's like, I just don't like to go into it, so I just tell him I'm an entrepreneur, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, kind of.
So he's like,
but he does cereal. No, it's just he's like a barber. He plays an instrument and does events for that shit, and he like does something at a church, so he gets paid from different things. So in his mind, he's an entrepreneur, which he is.
Yeah.
But
I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie. Yeah.
So he says that's what he says, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense,
right? I guess, bro. But
sometimes you don't want to get into it. Like, I guess I never.
You know why you don't want to get into it, Chris?
Why?
Because you're not doing shit, Chris. That's why you don't want to get into it. That's why you have a whole bunch of miscellaneous things that you do, and that's it. Most of the time when people say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not speaking for that fella that you're speaking to. I'm pretty sure he doesn't qualify for what I'm talking about. But most of the times when dudes are like, I'm an entrepreneur, really what they're saying is that they do nothing.
I don't have a job.
I don't have a job.
But I'm working on this great
idea. What I'm saying? This great idea I have. I like that person, that fella that you speak to, all those projects, he's accrued some form of economic exchange from those activities that he's doing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's accrued some form of economic exchange from those activities that he's participating in. Most of the people who say that are typically just, it just sounds cool. Like, I have an idea. Like, that's, like, if we were trying to still get Splur together, that's what we'd say. We're an entrepreneur.
That's fucked up. You shouldn't hide that one, did you? You said that straight up.
I threw it out like woo, like
we were at Splur.
Nobody on here. I mean, nobody listen to this. So,
this is gonna be my clip. If we were at Splur,
man.
Well, let's go back to the marriage, fellas. The marriage entrepreneur.
Man.
How we go into this tangent? Oh, you're talking about women and like the differences between age and your pool to
dating. Yeah, it seems like it just gets rough. And I'm only going based upon the stories. I'm only going based upon the stories I've heard. Like any person, any
think
female.
about that shit though. Most women, they get divorced. They have a bunch. They have not a bunch. They have kids.
It doesn't.
Like no one that
they got a bunch of kids. They're all welfare.
The guy that you're looking for has to look at you and be like, I really want to take on this challenge, because you got to take on kids, a baby dad, hopefully not more than one baby dad, her personality, and you got to figure out how to, all these things. It's like you really have to love that motherfucker. Like a lot of people in I hate to say it like this, but a lot of guys will fuck you and they'll leave. But I think women kind of sometimes get that confused with like, oh no, I find me a nigga. No, you'll find someone to fuck you, consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna go find his own family. Like,
Right.
he's not gonna want to get involved, and I can make it hell for him. You could. You go show up at the house like, hey, what up, bro? Start eating chips in your drawers and shit. Like, what's going on, bro? You good? Yeah. I know one thing.
Yeah,
I'm paying for everything. So he's gonna be in my shit.
Oh, who am I? I'm Justice's daddy. Justice's daddy. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, who am I?
Oh, so y'all been
his house. That's who I am.
Oh, so y'all been hanging out, huh? Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. What'd you do, sir?
I'm gonna look at her and be like, oh, he's a rapper. Oh, that's cute, man. You got you a rapper.
Oh, you a rapper?
I might have some money to fund you.
I'll give you a couple of dollars. Don't worry about it, dog. I'll give you a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Cut your demo tape.
Shit,
what you need?
Why don't you? I see you taking a shower, you got a toothbrush and everything. You paying rent?
Man.
If so, I mean, you might want to slide me some mints, dog. Like, I would have to. Like, be no other options for me. Like,
there's plenty of options. There's plenty of options for you.
No, I would just have to be a dick because I wouldn't want that kid to be like, oh, I took your daughter to get ice cream. Like, shit like that bothers me. Like, you took who? oh, you an ice cream taking nigga. Okay. Like, I would have to buy the ice cream place, but nigga, you need a job since you like giving niggas ice cream. Like, I just couldn't do it.
You have a problem, sir.
I see those things. Like, I seen like couples where, you know, they have a new guy and he's like holding the girl and kissing her, and it's like not the dad. And it's like, you know how I would lose my shit if I saw a picture on Instagram with another nigga kissing my kid. Like,
no, I'm never gonna go into that. That's a whole nother topic.
I think that but I think that's also depends on how you guys split. Like, for me, if I know it's over and we know it's over, my goal at this point is for us to stay amicable. So, you know, the little ones involved in the situation are golden. So for me, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to communicate what I'm comfortable with, what I'm not comfortable with. And we can try to see if we can work out some sort of like agreement that works. So like, hey, bro, look, one thing, you know, I have a daughter. So, you know, for me, it's like, hey, because we have a daughter and it's crazy out here, I don't necessarily feel comfortable with, you know, people just being around her unless we vet that thing personally. And honestly, I would probably feel more comfortable if I met that individual first before you introduce them to our daughter. I mean,
of course you do that, but what if, you know, you don't have that same respect? Like, you find out she has other guys at the crib without telling you or some shit like that, and you're like, what are you doing?
Oh shit!
Like,
that's when you get custody, right?
You gotta float. You gotta float that. You gotta float some ass. Someone's getting an ass with it.
I get custody. Like, yeah, no.
You know, like,
no, you're right. There's not a lot that you can do. There's not a lot that you can do. Like, granted, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, you can only hope that that's the thing. But I mean, this is the thing, though. I feel as well, though. Like, I'm offering the same thing to you. Like, you know, I won't. You know, I personally will willing to agree that, you know, my daughter won't see anybody until you see them first.
And it's a real thing. Like, I think sometimes women, I'm not going to speak for all women, but like, I've seen women like not really knowing, they can be like, oh, hey, like, run by my house real fast, pick up something. And, you know, they introduce them to people. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, day one, nigga. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
In school, like back when I was in college, like some random ass stripper, she was like, "Come on over," and then like the next day, like I went over there for a minute and I left, and she saw me at the mall, and she's like, "You didn't even speak to my kids." Like, bitch, I didn't even see you. Like, what are you talking about? Why am I speaking to your kids? I don't know, niggas. But you know, I just think that's a weird thing. And some women do that shit.
That's not.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the moral of the story is that y'all two aren't gonna get married again. I'm willing to it because I'm in this hippie stage and I'm just willing to go with the flow.
It would take a Disney story for me to to get married.
Why not create that Disney story, brother?
Shit,
I
hey,
created it once. Not doing it again.
Lightning can't hit strike twice in the same place.
Hell
it,
no.
it can, but
It barely
shit.
struck the first time.
Hey, my eyes is a little bad this time around.
You would have to do some wild shit like, hey, Chris, I gave you my kidney to live. And I'm like, all right, let's think about this shit. But
Right.
you'd have to do some wild shit for me to be like, okay.
Why are all your relationships transactional?
Why are they
What do you mean?
Because they have to be. I need to know you love a nigga.
Mm. Yeah, you gotta have that
That's what
moment
I
of proof.
Because you'll do the right things if something happens to me. When you don't, you worry about yourself. Something happened to you, you think like that person you put on your will, she take all your cheese and your kids looking at you like, damn, Dad. What happened?
All right.
I thought I could trust this bitch, son. I'm sorry. She took the money and ran.
She took everything.
Now she got Tyrone. Tyrone said, "You got all this?" yeah, Tyrone. We rich now, baby. Oh shit.
What's the thing?
Moral of the story: don't get married twice.
If you do, you have to have sex with 50 women.
50. So.
5-0. All right, let's end this bad boy with a tip. Give one tip that you've learned in your marriage, and you want to pass that tip along to anyone thinking about getting married.
Oh, calm the fuck down.
Calm down.
Calm the fuck down. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Whatever it is, it's not that deep. Calm the fuck down. And that goes for both of you. You and you. Calm the fuck down. Bigger picture, people. Bigger picture. And don't hit me and don't give me that bullshit. Oh, all the smaller things piled up. No. They're small things, right? Calm the fuck down. That's not.
Mine is find a balance and like find teamwork. Like it's all about giving and I don't know what's that word, compromising. I'm still learning that word. Compromising.
And I think that's what happens, after 20 years of marriage. You just learn to just say, you won. You beat me and I'm not going anywhere else. But my tip is communication. You guys stay talking, communicating, and trying to grow together instead of trying to grow separately. It'll all work itself out. You might have some bad days, but we all have bad days. You wake up to fight another day. There it is. All right, fellas. That has been, I never even said the title of the podcast. Huh?
Another episode of Logical.
Another episode of Logical Critic Talk. Way to do it, baby.
I was gonna address that after we were done recording, but
I got so excited about the rhyme and that I forgot about the.
Yeah, I know. You got really worked up there.
Well, shit, niggas, y'all know what this is. Y'all seen this shit before. We do this every goddamn week. You know the name. Look at the size of your screen. It's down there, motherfuckers. You saw the title when you clicked in.